Hi, so I play video games a lot, and a few years ago there was just one game that really dominated all my time and attention: Dota 2. I sank more hours into it than the rest of my Steam library put together. The obsession was understandable. I loved the original Warcraft 3 and the Dota mod. All my friends were super into it. Some of them still are. It required a lot of skill. There was a steep learning curve, and when all of that strategy and gameplay came together, it was a super satisfying feeling. MOBAs were all the rage back then. They really dominated the multiplayer gaming scene. You had your Dota, League of Nations, Heroes of the Storm, Heroes of Nevereth, or pata nahi kya kya. Had a new MOBA coming out of the woodworks every other weekend, with Marvel, DC, and even friggin' Lord of the Rings getting in on the action. Who doesn't want to be Pippin stabbing Sauron in the back? Suffice to say, MOBAs were the shit. But they aren't now. And yeah, there are a ton of reasons behind that. The average age of the gamer decreased, and newer, flashier titles and genres came to play with much easier learning curves and much more accessible and a lot more merchandising. But I recently reinstalled Dota 2 pretty much on a whim, and after not finding a match for 15 minutes, bane of my existence, I promptly uninstalled it again. This got me thinking back to why I quit in the first place, and I realized that the fault might have been with the inherent nature of the players themselves, at least in part. Toxicity in this genre is legendary. And that's pretty much what prompted me to quit. It was a shitty environment. Nobody wants to be cussed out for every micro mistake by a prepubescent Filipino-Russian 12-year-old. A game that hinges on the sophisticated coordination of 5 complete strangers from all over the globe is a utopian concept in gaming circles. I remember the very popular mid or feed maneuver where really annoying players would threaten to derail the entire game if they didn't get the position they wanted. And no one really wants to take the chance of wasting an hour or two of their lives on an asshole. And it happened. A lot. Every other game. But now consider the model of the genre that decidedly replaced MOBAs. The team FPS or Battle Royale genre, which became super popular because of Fortnite, Apex, PUBG, or pata nahi kya kya. These games are also massively multiplayer. They rely on teamwork and coordination with a lot more players than your standard MOBA to begin with. But at the same time, even though there is toxicity, it's not as stressful. Really got into Star Wars Battlefront 2 recently, and yeah, that also has a ton of team play, but I enjoyed the experience. Because here's the thing, the worst thing you can do in these games is just not be very good at the game. You can't kill your teammates, there's no friendly fire, the objectives aren't so complex that you can derail an entire 20 minutes of strategy by one wrong click, and when you accomplish something in the end, there's definitely a spirit of teamwork. You would really have to go out of your way to ruin the experience for everyone else. And this got me thinking, are we decent to one another only because it's inconvenient to be otherwise? I get it, everybody wants to be the hero, everybody wants to be the star player. But sometimes when you're working in a team for an objective that's a lot bigger than yourself, you'll find yourself working in roles that are not as glamorous. Maybe we learned this in school, where everyone's just fighting to be number one. And fair enough, that's pretty much because the system only rewards those who come out on top. We as teachers and society are really trying to preach the lessons of teamwork and empathy. Reality is reinforcing the exact opposite. That you have to stand out or you will be insignificant. That you have to be the best or you won't be remembered. That getting to the top, no matter the cost, no matter the consequences, is not only a noble endeavor which will get you the fame, glory, and love that you want, but by not doing so is the path of the loser. The problems that we face today are definitely bigger than any one individual. We probably won't be the heroes that solve them, and that's okay. We can be part of the team that makes a difference. Hey, thank you for watching. This is just the first video and hopefully I'll be making a lot more. In the meanwhile, you can check out my blog posts at asobservedbyj.blogspot.com and leave a comment, and I'd love to hear what you think.